Hello class, I want to talk with you about unity. And what is unity? Unity in a design is when the elements look like they belong together. You see it as a whole as opposed to a series of unrelated parts. Okay? Some common thread holds it together. So this work on the top has unity. Okay? You see it as one integrated whole. These elements, even though they're different, connect together. This collage on the bottom lacks unity. It looks like a series of unrelated parts, a bunch of bits and pieces. In art, there's not too many rules, but you generally want unity. So there's intellectual unity and there's visual unity. So intellectual unity is when the elements have a common theme. Okay, they're united by an idea. So for example, if you have a scrapbook of pictures of your vacation, then you're going to have intellectual unity because there's a common theme through the photos, by given the fact that they're of your vacation. Visual unity is about what's apparent to the eye. So they look like they belong together because of their aesthetic attributes. Okay, and we're going to talk about several ways to create unity. These aren't the only ways, but these are the ways that we're going to go over. So the first one's proximity. So proximity is a way to create unity when you simply just put things close together. Okay, if elements are close together, they look like they belong together. So in this collage by Hannah Hoke, the artist is creating unity by simply placing. Well, one way she creates unity, because she creates unity in many ways, but one way she creates unity is by placing the elements close together, and also through overlap, and by doing that they look connected. Okay, so here's another example. So these shapes, when they're placed, far apart in each corner, they don't look integrated. Okay, they don't have unity. But placing them together, they have unity. At least more unity. Okay, in this artwork, there's a lot of variety within the shapes, but they're placed together, and unity is created. Similarly, in this cutout piece by Matisse, there's lots of these leaf-like shapes, and they're all placed close together, and that helps to create unity. There's another way you can create unity, and it's through repetition. Okay, and then when a design element is repeated throughout the artwork, unity can be created, and this can be any of the design elements, including line, shape, color, texture, pattern. Okay, so in this case, we have color repeated. So yellow is repeated throughout the design, and so is this kind of beige color and this mauve. Okay, it's repeated throughout the design. Next, this type of swirly line is repeated throughout the design, and that helps to create unity. So let's look on the work on the left. And we talked before about this work by Hannah Hoke, and we talked about how proximity helps create unity. But the artist also uses repetition, and you can see that in the repetition of the color. Okay, so they all the images have a similar kind of orangey hue, okay, and that helps bring it together. So let's look on the one on the right. We have repetition of color. So we have black repeated across the design. And we also have repetition of shape in terms of these flat shapes with sharp edges. That type of shape style is repeated across the whole design. Okay, in this case, we have repetition of a similar line quality. This kind of textured, rough, scratchy line is repeated across the whole canvas. So too is color. We have red repeated across the canvas. We have some yellowy hued colors repeated across the canvas. So let's take a look at this design, and let's look to see where repetition is used to create unity. So you can see in the colors, the repetition of the green. See in the repetition of this off-white, repetition of these shapes, repetition of the font. These are all ways that unity is created through repetition in this design. What's going on here? Okay, we have repetition of color. Okay, blue, yellow, brown, gray. Repetition of a similar type of smooth texture. Okay, smooth shapes that are repeated across the design. Repetition of, you could say, direction. Okay, these legs all go in the same direction. That helps to create unity. What about this one? We have repetition of line. Okay, this line is repeated. It's reflected. Okay, and that helps to create unity. Okay, and the next way that unity is created is through continuation. So continuation is when the edge of one shape continues into another shape. So for example, with this red square, continues into this, okay? And then this red square continues into the blue square right here, okay? And then this top of the blue square continues into the yellow square over here, okay? Okay, so it's when one edge continues into another edge. Okay, so let's look at this work by Pablo Picasso. And you can see that there's continuation here. Okay, so this edge connects into this one, which connects into this one, and then I think it ends there. How about this? Okay, right here. At this edge, which connects over to here, which connects over to here, and then stops right here. Well, this edge, the edge of the nose, continues into this arm. Okay, there's a lot of continuation in this. That helps to build unity. What about in this design? We have continuation right here. Okay, so in this shape, edge continues from this shape into this one. Okay, the edge continues from this shape into this one. From this shape to this one. Okay, in this case we have continuation. So we have continuation from her head into her arm, into the back of the chair. We have continuation from this girl's back into the rug. We have continuation from this blanket into the wall. What about this car? Okay, so it's not just about 2D design, but also 3D design as well. So we have continuation from the lights into the grill. We have continuation from the back of the bumper, into the side. Okay, we have continuation from this little edge, into the front. So right here we have continuation from this edge, the curtain, into the flag, okay, and it helps create unity. So while unity is something that many artists aspire to, too much unity can be boring. So often artists will want unity with variety. And unity with variety is when there's an underlying feeling of unity, but there's also some variety present. And you can have both of these things. And one way that you could get unity with variety is through varied repetition. So it's basically when something is repeated, but it varies each time. It changes each time. So there's some type of pattern with variety. So if we look here, what's repeated is a yellow circle. Okay, what changes is the size. So it changes each time because it is present in a different size. On the example on the right, we have a circle of the same size, but in different colors. Now let's look at this example. What's repeated is this design of the soup can. Okay, and what's different is the flavor. Okay, this is tomato, this is vegetable, this is green pea, clam chowder, beef, asparagus, celery, beef broth, okay, and on and on. In this work by Kandinsky, we have a circle with an aura repeated. Okay, but it changes each time with regard to its size and color. We also have these half circles that are repeated, and they change each time with regard to their outline color. We also have lines that are repeated, straight lines that are repeated, but they differ each time with regard to their size and their thickness. So within this framework of unity with variety, there's flexibility. Some works are going to emphasize unity more, while others are going to emphasize variety more. So this work on the left, while it's unified, does have more of an emphasis on variety, meaning these elements are quite different. The work on the right has an emphasis on unity. Okay, and the unity is created through repetition of this rectangular shape, repetition of color, as well as the similarity among the saturation of all the colors.